Live from KSTP Television, this is Channel 5 Eyewitness News Midday.
It's been 4.5 years since this fire took 5 young lives. Finally today, prosecutors will lay out their case against the men they say are responsible for those 5 deaths. Thanks for joining us this midday. I'm Raylan Story. 5 of the 6 Coppage children died in that fire back in 1994. Now police say the one surviving child was the only target. Rod Rassman is covering the trial and joins us live. Rod, prosecutors are saying this was a gang hit?
That's exactly what they're saying, Ray. As a matter of fact, the prosecutors just started laying out their case a few minutes ago here in downtown Minneapolis. Now, for the Coppage family, what's happening here today has been a long time coming. And if this morning's any indication, a verdict will be a long time coming as well. More on that in a moment. First, though, let me just take you back the past 4 years or so and some of the things that have happened in that time. It all started February 28, 1994, when someone firebombed the Coppage home in St. Paul, killing 5 children inside. A week later, police had 8 people behind bars, suspected of planning and executing that arson. Now, police believe gang members were trying to silence Andre Coppage, who had apparently witnessed a murder earlier that year. Andre is the only Coppage child to survive the fire. Prosecutors could not get those charges to stick, though, so all of the people were eventually released. Then, February of this year, as part of a larger drug bust, police arrested Robert Buster Jefferson and his half-brother Robert Duddy Jefferson and charged them with ordering the hit on the Coppage home. Now, getting back to how long all of this is going to take, just to give you an idea of what this is all about, the Jeffersons are charged in a much larger drug trafficking case. Now, the prosecutor, or I should say the judge, laid out all the charges against these people, and just trying to get through all the charges took him 25 minutes. That's what the jury is up against. So obviously, Ray, it's going to be a long time coming as far as a verdict is concerned.
So, Rod, as they go through this trial, they're trying not only whether or not they were involved in this firebombing, but all of the drug-related charges as well.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, the drug-related charges are really the crux to the case, and the arson itself is part of a larger scheme to hide that drug trafficking. All
right. Thanks a lot, Rod. Just in the last few hours, there is word of yet another shooting at a school, this time in Richmond, Virginia. 2 people were shot and injured, and police took 2 others into custody at Armstrong High School. One of the victims is a teacher, the other a school employee. Both have only minor gunshot injuries. The Phillips neighborhood of Minneapolis has had its share of high-profile crimes, including the murder of Ann Prasniak. Starting today, police will increase patrols in that neighborhood. It's part of a crime reduction program called Code 4. Over the weekend, police recruits handed out flyers to people explaining the crackdown. As part of an effort to eliminate drug traffic, police, ATF agents, even drug enforcement officers will block off streets and ask everyone for ID. They hope to cut off the supply of drugs from people trying to buy. We've heard about it for years, and now the Minneapolis business community is getting a look at plans for light rail transit. Tomorrow, possible route alternatives and station locations will be presented. Where the trains will run needs to be settled soon to compete in the first round of federal transit funding. Right now, proposed routes bring the trains along Hiawatha Avenue and into downtown on the northeast side of the Metrodome. The type of bedding your newborn baby sleeps on could be a matter of life and death. The government warns infants who sleep on soft bedding risk suffocation. A new study shows out of 206 cases of sudden infant death syndrome, 30% of the babies were found with their faces covered by soft bedding. Doctors recommend using a firm, flat mattress, avoid fluffy items like pillows and comforters, and remember, put babies on their backs to sleep. Tornado sirens across the South and Midwest sounded over the weekend. Take a look at this video shot near Oklahoma City. Tornadoes forming caught on camera. This became a full-fledged twister. It ripped a huge path of destruction across the city. Dozens of people abandoned their cars for shelter under this underpass, and 17 people got hurt at a theme park. But amazingly, nobody died during the storms. It wasn't wind, but rain that put a damper on the weekend in Iowa. 13 inches of rain fell in Griswold, Iowa, creating some serious flooding. Dozens of people had no choice but to head for shelter and let the water run its course. Well, our own weather picture is much more promising, I think.
Yeah, it's wet there, but then other places in the country extremely dry, like in Jacksonville, Florida. I talked with a relative there yesterday, and she was telling me it hasn't rained in Jacksonville for 10.5 weeks.
And they've had some of those grass fires down in Florida.
In northern and central Florida, yes. So they're praying for some rain down there. They could use it. Everything's just burning up. Now, for us, it's fairly quiet. It's going to stay that way, it looks like, for the rest of the afternoon. That's a shot from our Midway sky cam. We're looking to the west, and that's where the thicker clouds are. But if you look to the east, you're going to see some sunshine. And in fact, in almost all of Wisconsin, it has cleared out. Here's our conditions now as we continue to warm up. It's in the low 70s. It's 72, and we'll continue to warm up into the upper 70s. Dew point has dropped a little bit at 55 degrees, humidity 55%. Wind is light out of the southeast at about 5 miles an hour. We'll take a look at the rest of the week. It's much different than last week, and it's the temperatures that will be much different. We'll take a look at that in a moment.
Much better, we hope. Thanks, Jim.
Much warmer, yeah.
Thanks, Jim.
Okay.
Well, if you're heading to the lake this week, be forewarned. The state is cracking down on wave runners. New rules catching on across the country target no-wake zones, and Carver County is fighting fire with fire. They bought 2 wave runners, and they'll use them to enforce personal watercraft laws. They include no-wake zones within 150 feet of boats without engines, shorelines, docks, and swim rafts. There's no wake jumping within 150 feet of other boats, and riders have to wear life jackets. Well, it's a repeat of the three-peat. Bulls fans take to the streets to celebrate a 6th national championship, but some of them get a little out of hand. And it's not just basketball fans that have trouble controlling their actions. World Cup soccer earns a violent reputation. And later, do you know what the symbols on the state flag mean? Do you know which symbols appear on the flag? Jason Davis heads out on the road to see the next generation of Minnesota's flag. You're watching Eyewitness News.
Tired of waiting to get online? Then get new US West Internet access. It makes using the internet as easy as using the phone. Order now and you'll get a 56K modem free when you prepay for 1 year of service. You'll also get a step-by-step CD-ROM startup kit, a toll-free 24-hour support line staffed by real people, 2 email boxes so you can stay connected to friends, family, and business associates, and support for modem speeds up to 56K for faster downloads. With US West Internet access, you'll get online and stay online, and unlimited access is just $19.95 a month. Order before June 26th and we'll send you this 56K modem free. It's a $149 value, yours free when you prepay for 1 year of service. So stop waiting and start connecting with US West Internet access. It's more internet for less hassle. Life's better here. US West.
When you get together with your family and friends this summer, make sure you pick up the KFC. Your whole crowd will love it. And right now, pick up 10 pieces of the Colonel's chicken, original recipe, or extra tasty crispy, just $8.99. Ooh. They love us! Summer's here. Isn't it time for some really good chicken?
Every month, college students eat 60 million slices of pizza, and they don't always have a toothbrush. Chew on this. Chewing Trident after meals can help prevent cavities from forming.
Good breakfast.
So when you can't brush, chew on this. Trident.
A last-second shot by who else but Michael Jordan, and the Chicago Bulls win a 6th NBA championship. The fan frenzy afterwards has become almost as much a tradition as the win itself. Chicago cops made their presence known. There were 5 shootings and reports of cars being tipped over and looting. But even Bulls fans seem tame in comparison to World Cup soccer fans. Over the weekend, French police broke out the riot gear several times, and today promises more problems. England faces off against Tunisia, and the U.S. takes on Germany. For some American fans, the World Cup hasn't lived up to expectations.
We went to pick up our tickets for the U.S.-Germany that we had paid for, and they said no tickets.
The Keatings paid $7,500 for their World Cup package. They're hoping to get some of that money back. Be sure to catch the U.S. first-round game against the Germans starting at 1:30 right here on Channel 5. And for fans of General Hospital, be sure to tune in tonight at 7. Channel 5 will put the soap on in prime time, preempted for the World Cup soccer. NATO forces in Italy took to the skies for their show of force. F-16 fighter jets left Aviano Air Base in Italy in an effort to intimidate Yugoslavian President Slobodan Milosevic. The Serbian army has used strong-arm tactics against ethnic Albanians, forcing many to flee. Yet another hearing today over that cable car tragedy in Italy. A Marine fighter jet clipped the cable holding the car, dropping the 20 people inside to their deaths. The hearing today will help decide if the pilot and the navigator of the jet should stand trial for manslaughter and negligent homicide. The man investigating President Clinton may be investigated himself. Kenneth Starr admitted in a magazine interview that he leaked information about his investigation into the Monica Lewinsky matter. He insists it was only to correct misinformation leaked by the Clinton administration, not information from the grand jury. Clinton's deputies insist this shows Ken Starr is out to get the president politically. He's been nicknamed Chainsaw Al for his ruthless job cuts at the Sunbeam Corporation. He's cut half of the jobs at the company. Now Albert Dunlap is getting a taste of his own medicine. The board of directors has fired him as chairman. The company says the board lost confidence in Dunlap. Well, it's back to the bargaining table for General Motors and members of the United Auto Workers Union in Michigan. They met over the weekend without progress. So far, 60,000 workers have been laid off because of the strikes, and 13 of GM's major assembly plants and 59 parts plants are closed. The walkouts are costing the company $40 million a day. Rain fell throughout the country throughout the weekend, but for these folks, rain is just the beginning of their problems. The raw details still ahead. But first, a live look at one very sunny Monday morning. Well, maybe not so sunny. From our Midway Skycam, Jim Guy's work week forecast next on Midday.
Hi, this is your Carrier Indoor Weather Report. Well, it's ideal in Death Valley, just perfect in Alaska, fair and mild in New Orleans, and everywhere else you find Carrier Indoor Weather Systems that have been making the weather you like since 1902. Here's who to call for custom-made indoor weather in your neck of the woods.
In the Twin Cities, call Preferred Heating and Air Conditioning, your quality Carrier dealer. Carrier quality and dependable service from Mechanical Energy Systems. That's our pledge to you.
Custom-made indoor weather.
Oh, help.
Now you want help? You didn't need help eating those nachos. You still think you can eat like a kid.
Oh, my Lanta.
Wore off.
Yeah.
Want my Tagamet?
Please.
Don't say I never gave you anything.
Unlike regular antacids, Tagamet lasts for hours and hours, and Tagamet is fast, proven to start reducing stomach acid faster than Pepsid AC. With Tagamet, you can eat and sleep like a kid again. 1948, KSTP showed Minnesota its first television moments.
To welcome you on this occasion of the opening of television in your cities. And now you are on the air.
And gave the Twin Cities its first local newscast.
These and many stories as reported by the Northwest First newscaster Bill Ingram.
Now we're continuing that tradition, covering local news like no one else. Yesterday and today, your eyewitness for 50 years. KSTP Channel 5.
Have you ever wanted sliced turkey that tastes like the turkey you cook at home? Well, I have. Well, that's why my premium sandwich slices taste just like they're home cooked.
Jerry Jerome, the guy behind the turkey store.
It's less processed, carefully roasted, 100% turkey breast, giving you more real turkey texture and more real turkey taste.
Try premium cooked sandwich slices from the turkey store.
It's the way turkey was meant to be.
In Boston, heavy rains brought headaches for this neighborhood.
It's ridiculous. It's an ongoing thing. You can't put anything in your cellars. The people that have rebuilt their cellars, got new furnaces, everything's gone again. I mean, they tell us, we're going to do this, we're going to fix it. Does this look like a fix?
This river running down the street is actually raw sewage, forcing shop owners to get creative. This guy used 100-pound bags of rice to stop the sewage. Not a good combination. Not something you want to see coming down the street, heading your way.
No.
And we won't have to worry about that here.
No. It looks like a pretty quiet afternoon coming up. There still is an outside chance that we may see an isolated shower or a thunder shower, but that's going to be about it. It's going to be warm. This week looks pretty good as far as the temperature goes if you like warm weather. 72 now, humidity 55%. The pressure is holding steady and the wind is light It's going to stay that way through the afternoon. Right now it's out of the southeast at about 5 miles an hour. Still a couple little isolated showers showing up around Alexandria and then into the southwestern part of the state on the other side of the Minnesota River Valley around Marshall, and that stretches down to Worthington. And there was some rain showing up from Redwood Falls to Mankato earlier this morning. That has dried up, and nothing over the metro, and really nothing in Wisconsin at this point, although the sun is out there and there may be some little instability showers or a thunderstorm that pops up. But the rain is right along the Minnesota, North and South Dakota border. But it's beginning to kind of dry up, as you can see here, and will not be affecting us. And where it's cleared off, over portions of Wisconsin, to see maybe a couple of isolated thunderstorms pop up. And some high, thin clouds sitting over us here. Now, to our west, the clouds are definitely thicker. But you look over portions of Wisconsin, some cirrus clouds for the most part, but they're beginning to really kind of fade away. And we're going to see some sunshine off and on through some of the high, thin clouds right through the afternoon, and the temp's going to continue to climb. It's a little bit cooler in the western part of the state where they have thicker clouds, like at Fargo and Marshall. But with sunshine, Eau Claire is now up to 75. It's 72 here in the metro, 70 at Rice Lake, but only 64 at Bemidji where they have some clouds. And temperatures are not going to be that bad through the afternoon. We'll get into the upper 70s, a little bit cooler at St. Louis and Kansas City because of the clouds that they have there. It's 90 in Miami right now. That's their current temp. New Orleans, 90. It's 93 at Brownsville. And in Atlanta, it is 83. So it is hot down in the southern states. Partly sunny, a slight chance for an isolated shower or thunderstorm later this afternoon, high around 78. Maybe a scattered shower or a little thunder overnight tonight in 62. We're going to do the same thing tomorrow. Slight chance for maybe an isolated shower or thunderstorm, otherwise partly sunny and back up to 78. Looks like it'll get into the low 80s on Wednesday. It'll be partly cloudy. Now, there's a chance for a late day thunderstorm on Wednesday, and then a scattered thunderstorm around on Thursday, and that may linger into Friday, but not a total washout. And look at the temps. We're going to get into the low to mid 80s on Thursday and Friday. A lot different than last week, isn't it?
And a little closer to average for this time of year.
Which is in the upper 70s, close to 80.
All right. Thanks, Jim.
Okay.
The drug that some were hoping would be a miracle fat pill may not be all it's cracked up to be. Initial trials on the hormone called leptin showed some promise. Many test patients lost up to 35 pounds after 6 months on the drug, but some lost no weight and others even added a few pounds during the test. Leptin is produced by normally functioning fat cells and is supposed to signal the brain to stop sending hunger signals. With synthetic leptin, doctors hoped to accelerate that process. Also in the Health Watch this midday, a Los Angeles area hospital is under intense scrutiny. Northridge Hospital forced a woman in labor to pay up front in cash $400 for an epidural. The woman is covered by a state-subsidized medical program that the hospital refuses to accept. Now the patient is suing the hospital. Tonight on 2020 Monday, a fashion lesson for the corporate world. Not everyone looks the same. Here's Deborah Roberts.
For more than a century, African-American women have wrestled with an incredible dilemma: what to do with their natural, tightly curled hair. In most cases, the answer from society has been clear. Either straighten the hair to fit in and succeed, or maybe risk your job and reputation.
I was what I consider an excellent employee. I got to work on time. I did my job. The customers loved me. But the day I decided to braid my hair was the day that, I could no longer work there.
Be sure to catch Deborah Roberts' full report on black fashion in the workplace. That's tonight at 8, followed by The Practice and then Eyewitness News at 10. You see it flying in front of every courthouse, but do you know what's on our state flag?
And it has so many symbols on it that most people don't even know what they stand for.
Jason Davis goes on the road for a glimpse at a simpler, more meaningful flag.
This On the Road with Jason Davis is sponsored by your local Toyota dealers.
This is the month for big savings during Toyota's June Summer Savings Event. It's the summer's best selection of Camrys. And now you can choose between an incredible $229 a month lease, or you can choose low 4.8% financing for 48 months, or choose $750 cash back. So hurry! The June Summer Savings Event ends soon. See your Toyota dealer now for 3 great Camry offers.
And now we join Larry on vacation for the Carrier Indoor Weather Report.
Well, Lisa, the weather is just beautiful here. It's the only place I know of where I can truly predict perfect weather.
Which is?
I'm at home. Listen, let me tell you who to call for custom-made indoor weather in your home.
Call Ditter Cooling and Heating, your indoor weather experts in the western suburbs since 1946. Dependable service from the indoor weather experts. That's the CAP Heating and Air Conditioning pledge to you.
Carrier, custom-made indoor weather.
Unable to work because of an injury or disability? Call Midwest Disability. You may be eligible for Social Security disability benefits. Midwest Disability works for you in getting the Social Security disability benefits you've earned and deserve. Regardless of your age, you have rights to these benefits, and Midwest Disability can help. And there's no fee if there's no recovery.
Call attorney Tony Manila at Midwest Disability, 422-3770. We work for you.
People around the country put out their flags for Flag Day, but for most Minnesotans, our state emblem is a bit of a mystery. Jason Davis went on the road to Rochester to meet a couple of men who have a new design that may solve that problem.
On the road with you, there's a place I want to see.
From a distance, it's impossible to make out what the symbols on the Minnesota state flag mean.
I'll bet if you ask the average Minnesotan, they're hard-pressed to even tell you what's on our flag.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Which is just as well, says Lee Herold,
The African National Congress.
who runs one of the state's premier flag shops in Rochester.
Settlers from the east were coming in, taking over the territory, driving the Indian population out into the Sunset West.
In 1983, the flag was revised to try and make it look as if the fleeing Indian was riding toward the settler to welcome him, a change that few people noticed.
And it has so many symbols on it that most people don't even know what they stand for.
I've been interested since I was a little kid.
For 10 years, Father Bill and Lee Herold have been campaigning for a new, simpler Minnesota state flag. They point out that the current state pennant looks ridiculous on the reverse, seemingly representing some place called Atosinum.
If it's a good flag, it doesn't need to have writing on it to tell what it is. And it looks like 25 other state flags. You can't tell it apart.
This is what these men think should be the Minnesota state flag. A simple design incorporating the North Star, the hue of sky blue waters, the white of snow, and green for the farms and forests.
All combined in one simple flag, which is easy to recognize from a distance, and yet very colorful and less expensive than the current flag, and a flag you could be proud of.
What Lee Herold and Father Bill Becker need now is someone powerful and popular, someone that can carry the banner and lead the charge to introduce this new state flag. Jason Davis, Channel 5 Eyewitness News, on the road in Rochester.
The original Minnesota state flag was drawn by the wife of a Minneapolis businessman in 1893. Amelia Hyde Center won $15 for her design, which was used at the World's Fair in Chicago. Well, what better place to view a flag on Flag Day than the home of Betsy Ross? The actual 13 Star-Spangled Banner does not hang in her Philadelphia home, but visitors who stopped by the Ross house did get to see a replica. Romance, comedy, and adventure. It's all happening on an abandoned island in Harrison Ford's new action flick, 6 Days, 7 Nights. Next on Eyewitness News Midday, a look at how it stacks up against Jim Carrey's big show.
Can't stand the heat? Well, get out of the kitchen and into Perkins Family Restaurants for our cool summertime menu. We're bringing back your old favorites like tortilla salads, tortilla wrap sandwiches, and hoagie burgers. And we're introducing some new favorites like our tasty hoagie dogs served with a free Coke, chicken crisp Caesar salad, key lime pie, and more. The summertime menu at Perkins, because when you're hot, you're hot. There's always something new cooking at Perkins.
For over 75 years, Seasteps has offered Minnesota's largest selection of carpet, vinyl flooring, and oriental rugs.
4 floors, over 28,000 square feet of nothing but carpet, remnants, rugs, and vinyl flooring.
Seasteps prices are so much lower than the chains.
Because we have only one location and less overhead.
Plus, what chain can offer 4 floors of every single name brand carpet and vinyl in every color and pattern made?
Better see Seasteps, 6th and Wall Streets, downtown St. Paul.
It's worth a drive from anywhere in Minnesota. Has been for over 75 years.
Hi, I'm Jill with Empire Glass. Let Empire Glass replace your cracked windshield and will now pay up to $150 of your comprehensive insurance deductible. And if you have a zero deductible, we'll give you a cash rebate.
And we'll even give you 12 free delicious dinners to the Champs Americana restaurants with any windshield replacement. And for the highest in quality windshields at the lowest in cash prices, call Empire Glass today at 617-8000. And remember, when you think glass, think Empire.
Did you know garlic can help prevent heart attacks and cinnamon can help with indigestion? Tonight on Live at 5, see how adding certain spices to your diet can improve your health. Then if lower back pain is slowing you down, there's a new way to find relief. We'll show you how stretching your back could get you back in the swing of things. Don't miss Live at 5 right after Rosie. Well, the most popular movie in the world is about the most popular TV show in the world.
Technology, an entire human life recorded on an intricate network of hidden cameras and broadcast.
Jim Carrey's movie continues to rake in big bucks. The Truman Show made just over $20 million in its second week. Harrison Ford and Anne Heche came in second with their adventure 6 days and 7 nights. A Perfect Murder, Can't Hardly Wait, and Godzilla rounded out the top 5 movies this weekend. And for the first time all year, Titanic fell out of the top 10 movies. Boy, that really just had a record streak, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We are going to have a little bit nicer streak of weather, it sounds like.
If you like warm temperatures, yes. Take a look at this. You'll see what I'm talking about. First of all, a shot from our Midway Skycam. We're looking back into the thicker clouds. If I were to swing this around and look towards St. Paul, it's much brighter, and the sun is kind of straining through some of the high, thin cirrus clouds that we have. And we will see partly sunny conditions through the afternoon. Slight chance for an isolated thunderstorm later in 78. 78 tomorrow. Dry Wednesday till late in the day and 80. And then we get some heat and humidity. 83 Thursday, 84 on Friday. And once again, an isolated thunderstorm possible Thursday, Friday. So a little more typical summer-like weather coming up this week. And it looks like we say goodbye for at least the time being to the 50s and 60s.
The heat off, the air conditioner's back on.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Jim.
Okay.
That does it for Eyewitness News midday on this Monday. Join us for more local news later today on Live at 5.
Be a part of the Eyewitness News team. If you see news happening, call the Channel 5 tip line at 5 TV News.